Hey, what's up, everybody? Gonna do a classic rock reaction, man. This is an introduction to a band called UFO. I believe I've been exposed to them before, but I can't remember particularly when and whose reaction. Probably in the body of a quad. You know, sometimes a quad is mixed up with a number of various artists, so it's something like that. But UFO definitely rings a bell. I'm gonna feel stupid once the light switch goes on. Anyway, man. First off, we're gonna be checking out these four songs: "I'm a Loser," "Love to Love," "Doctor Doctor," and that's live, and finally, "Profession of Violence." So I just want to give a shout out and a thanks very much to Svein Age Vol. Or Svein Ag Vol. Thanks, man. I appreciate the recommendation and introducing me to a new artist. I'm sure that there's probably a number of viewers who might not be aware of UFO as well, so it's a first. So what we'll do, man, we'll do kind of like a back-to-back format with the music, and then on the back end take a really decent look at the actual artist. And Svein, he's provided so much information about each particular song breakdown, I don't even have to go to Wikipedia. So let's hit this up, man. UFO, and the first song is all the way back from '76, starting with "I'm a Loser." Let's get it.
Trying to make the evening move so fast. Not in real trouble, but I can't go back home. They lock the doors and I'm left out alone. You can come to my place and sleep on the couch. Lots of people do it and we won't leave you out. Hard times out on the street. Hard times, hard to beat. The painted lies they all hand you. I'm a loser on the road. I'm a loser on the road. Houston Station and it's cold as ice. All night specials they move you on. But me and Ginger over there, we got this thing where we really take care. You can come to my place and sleep on the couch. Lots of people do it and we won't leave you out. Hard times out on the street. Hard times, hard to beat. The
I'm getting some vibes like Springsteen,
painted they all
that storytelling format.
I'm a loser on the road. I'm a loser on the road.
notice that they saved all of the instrumentals for the back end and giving you a strong outro rather than some bands stretching it out in the middle like Sabbath and Rush. Interesting. It's because they had a story to tell. It's a good sounding band, good musicians. Love to Love. Nice slow intro. Something epic is coming. It's a really nice slow build, isn't it?
Oh, there's been too many times and I can't go back. Night bars, guitars, run down motels like shacks. What it amounts up to, I don't want it at all. Lost you and I want you today. Misty green and blue. Love to love you. Misty green and blue. Love to love you.
combination of priest and maiden.
Half the time it could seem funny, the other half's just too sad. These westbound moons, oh, they rise and fall. Lost you and I want you today.
And a little rainbow with the synth.
Misty green and blue. Love you. Misty green and blue. Love you. To be something, to be near you. I don't know where I'm going to. I've tried and I need you to stay.
This is an epic song. And they're following that classic rock blueprint. Alright, man. That was nice. Stretching the hell out of that song with some great instrumentals. Excellent musicianship. Okay, so this is Doctor. Yeah, Metal Guru Messiah. I might subscribe, brother. Doctor Live. me of Mama, Mama, Please. Nancy. I bet you this is a crowd favorite. This is definitely a song to perform live. Sounds good as hell too. It's pretty short for a live song. Yeah, I know you like that. That was cool. The last song in Dr. Doctor, Love to Love, they had to have been hits to a certain extent. I'd be surprised if they weren't. Profession of Violence.
Hey babe, what we gonna do? No look behind me glances. Straight time, this time we'll take our chances. Darling, it's been so long. Every lonely hour, Lord the sinner pulls the trigger and the world turns sour. Whisper on the wind, locked in silence, professional violence. Whisper on the wind, locked in silence, professional violence. Try to pick up the pieces, maybe move away, but the lifer was only yesterday.
You take the shit with you wherever you go, man. Take care of the shit first.
Down the halls of justice, the echoes never fade. Notches on my gun, another debt is paid. Whisper on the wind, locked in silence, professional violence. Whisper on the wind, locked in silence, professional violence.
That was nice, man. And it ends, excuse me, and it ends with a great, great guitar solo. That guitar solo was sweet as hell, man. It could have been longer. They could have stretched that out even longer. But you know what? One thing I like about these guys is when they have a story to tell, they will tell you the story in the front end. And then they will end the song with great instrumentals, solos, and everything on the back end. That's really, really cool. Or with a long song like Left to Left, they will do the traditional, what I call the traditional rock platform of stretching the song out in the middle structurally, you know, so it's really cool. I've noted that in my mind. Wow, these guys are really excellent, man. Fantastic, fantastic band. Great musicians, have intelligent things to say, you know. A ballad is also mixed in with challenges of life, you know what I'm saying? So it isn't just about I love you, baby, you're so beautiful, and just typical shit like that. So, before I forget though, on the heels of me loving this guitar solo so much in this last song, let me ask you a question. I got a question to ask you, man. I don't think I've ever asked this question before. Let me ask you this question. What, in your opinion, is the sweetest sounding rock and roll sound? Let me give you a little bit of context here. One of my subscribers, Helene, actually she goes by Evelyn. Long story, don't ask why. So let's say Evelyn. Evelyn said the other day in the comment sections, I believe it's on the Patreon page, she said, yeah, you know, the slide guitar is one of my favorite sounds in music. And it occurred to me, I'm like, oh my God, Evelyn, me too, man, me as well. And it got me to thinking, Wayne, what is to you the sweetest sound in music? And I'm gonna shock the shit out of you with this answer. Listen. The sweetest sound to me in music, all music, rock and roll music, everything, is a guitar solo. Think of that shit. The guitar solo. Where would modern music be without that hallowed guitar solo? You know that guitar solo. The very, very first time that I actually spoke through and even paused in the middle of a guitar solo, you remember that shit? My very, very first reaction to Pink Floyd, it was Time, and I didn't know any better. And you remember so many shades of black that you guys slapped off of my ass, right? For talking through a guitar solo, and then I had the audacity to pause. Oh my goodness, I still remember that. I had so much shit coming from you guys about that I had to pull I had to pull that reaction, because I just got so tired of getting so much shade slapped off of me. So back to my favorite sound. Yes, and I know it's shocking, because you are probably going to say, oh yeah, knowing you, it's the sexy sax. No, it's the guitar solo. And when you talk about the guitar solos, you know, this is a great, great song. Immediately, a couple of people come to mind. Hendrix, Gilmore, Lifeson, Vaughn, and for me, the greatest of all, Page. So, for me, the guitar solo is the sweetest sound in music to me. I gotta ask you, what's yours? You might say it's the drums. Some might say it's definitely the piano tickling those bastards. You might say it's, oh man, it's the presence of the organ in music, because the organ elevates the singer, whatever the singer is singing, and they bring in some organ into that shit. It really gets into your soul, doesn't it? You remember when Plant is singing his ass off in Since I've Been Loving You, and then Jones comes in with a little organ? I lost my damn mind. And you know what? I've got friends who know me so well, they knew what areas of that song would just get me, right? Still to this day, man, that song, guys, the guitar solo in that song really, I think, shook me out of my trance, because I was in a trance, and I was really, being an ex-military guy, being a vet and stuff like that, starting my channel, immediately I went straight to anti-war songs and stuff like that. And I was getting deep into this shit, man. I only intended to start my channel and do 1 or 2 reactions a week. And my friends would leave, come back, and I'd still be sitting there 8 hours later doing anti-war song reactions. So they're like, oh, this shit is not good, man. So the guitar solo, I'm telling you guys, to a certain extent, it kind of saved my life a little bit. Not being too dramatic with you, but that is the importance of music and the importance of certain sounds in music. And when Evelyn said, yo, man, that slide guitar just gets me, I realized, the sweet sounds of music, specifically rock and roll music. What is your favorite sound in rock and roll music? It's a classic rock channel, so give me your favorite sound in the classic rock genre. Let me know what it is, man. That'd be really cool. Some of you are gonna say, geez, it's gotta be, maybe the bass grooves, or the answers are gonna be varied. But for me, still, in the end, no second, or everything else is a distant second. It's the guitar solo. I remember that only because it was just the other day that I saw that note from Evelyn, that comment, and then remembering how sweet this guitar solo in Professional Violence, the last song, just brought it all back. I don't know, had to share that shit with you. All right, let's do this, man. UFO, wow, excellent band. Really, really great musicians. They sing about great things. I can clearly understand what the singer is singing, and they are a compliment to a lot of really good rock bands. I said I got some vibes from Rainbow, got some vibes from Priest, got some vibes from Maiden, so these guys really are in very, very good standing and good company. And they came up back in the day. They were back in the days of the that Renaissance period, that creative bug. So let's find out what these dudes are all about. UFO. UFO are an English rock band that was formed in London in '68. They became a transitional group between early hard rock and heavy metal and the new wave of British heavy metal. The band's current lineup includes vocalist Phil Mogg, lead guitarist Vinnie Moore, rhythm guitarist, keyboardist Neil Carter, bassist, guitarist Rob DeLuca, and drummer Andy Parker. They've gone through several lineup changes, leaving Mogg as the only constant member, and had 2 breaks, 1983 to 84, and again from 89 to 91. The band are also notable for featuring former Scorpion guitarist and MSG founder Michael Schenker, who was a member of UFO from 73 to 78. Okay, maybe that's why that guitar solo was so sweet to me. And have rejoined the band sporadically between 93 and 2003 when Moore replaced him. In May 2018, is it Mogg? Yeah, I'm gonna say it's Mogg. Mogg announced that he would retire from UFO after one last tour as a member of the band in 2019. However, the band plans to resume their farewell tour in 2022. Over a career spanning 54 years, UFO have released 22 studio albums, 14 live recordings, 16 compilation albums, and 1 album of cover songs. They achieved success in late 70s and early 80s with several albums and singles, including their '79 live album Strangers in the Night in the UK and the US top 40 charts, and have sold over 20 million records worldwide. Some of their best known songs include Doctor Doctor, Rock Bottom, Natural Thing, Lights Out, Too Hot to Handle, and Only You Can Rock Me. UFO are considered one of the greatest classic rock acts and often cited as one of the key influences on the 1980s and 1990s hard rock and heavy metal scenes. The band were ranked number 84 on VH1's 100 Greatest Artists of Hard Rock. Damn, see what I'm saying? All of this good shit out there, and you can easily just miss it, and how many of us have not even heard of UFO? Sad. Okay, this is Spying Ad Vol's time here, because he's provided some breakdowns for each particular song. So I'm a Loser, released in '76. It's from the album No Heavy Petting, the only album with Danny Perino on keyboards, and the third and last album produced by Leo Lyons, the bassist, in 10 Years After. Oh yeah, 10 Years After, those guys. The only song I know of them is I'd Love to Change the World, but I know that they have a good reputation for being a really good funky jam band, especially live. And I think that I have actually had maybe one of those songs in a game in a quad somewhere, but I wouldn't be able to find that shit, man. Not almost 700 reactions later. Love to Love, 1977. From Lights Out, the first album with Paul Raymond on keyboards and guitar. He joined Chicken Shack in '69, replacing Kristen Perfect, later McVie, who left to join Fleetwood Mac. Raymond, the bassist and the drummer, left Chicken Shack in '71 and joined Savoy Brown. He played on 6 albums with them before going to UFO. Okay, you see how it's all connected? You see how all of these musicians are so at the same level that they can intertwine, It's really interesting seeing how everything overlaps and who knows each other and everything like that, and how people are influenced by each other. Dr. Doctor, live in 1978. From the album Strangers in the Night, released as a double album in early '79, Strangers in the Night got an 8-disc deluxe release in 2020. Dr. Doctor was originally recorded on Phenomenon in '74 and re-recorded on Walk on Water in '95. Iron Maiden covered it on a B-side mid-90s with Blaze Bayley on vocals. That's how I discovered UFO in 2008. This is Finite Roll talking. At every Maiden concert, they play some songs over the PA that the members were inspired by. Dr. Doctor is always the last song before Maiden goes on stage. Interesting. Yeah, man, I can see Maiden just killing that song. Profession of Violence, 1981. Paul Chapman on guitar. He replaced Michael Schenker, who left during their 1978 tour. Chapman had briefly been a second guitarist in UFO on the 1974 tour, before joining the band Lone Star. Before that, he had replaced Gary Moore in the Irish band Skid Row. Rest in peace, great Gary Moore. The first of 3 albums with Neil Carter on keyboards, guitar, and sax. He replaced Paul Raymond, who had joined former UFO guitarist Michael Schenker in Michael Schenker Group. Raymond also stayed in Michael Schenker Group for 1 album and a tour before joining former UFO bassist Pete Way in Wasted. After leaving UFO in '83, Neil Carter played for Gary Moore in '83 to '89. He would also be lead singer on some songs on tour. In '89, at the age of 30, he became a music teacher in Brighton, but returned to play with Gary Moore in 2010, until Gary's death in 2011. After releasing the first 2 albums in 1970 and '71, guitarist Mick Bolton left. He was temporarily replaced by Bernie Marsden, who toured with UFO for a few months and recorded a couple of demos. Bernie was replaced by Michael Schenker in '73. Schenker had played on the first Scorpions album in '72 at the age of 17. His brother Rudolph is the founder of the Scorpions. After 5 studio albums, Michael Schenker left UFO and returned to Scorpions, where he recorded just 1 album in '79 before starting the Michael Schenker Group in 1980. Damn, Swine, you got a lot of knowledge there, bro. In 93, UFO got their most famous lineup back together. Phil Mogg, Michael Schenker, Pete Way, Paul Raymond, and Andy Parker. Even though Schenker played on the 3 albums until 2002, tensions would sometimes make him leave in the middle of the tour. Vinnie Moore took over in 2003. In 2019, when UFO had a break from their 50th anniversary farewell tour, Paul Raymond died, and Neil Carter once again replaced him. All right, Paul Raymond, keyboards and guitar. Rest in peace to you, Paul. All right, y'all, that is the information given on UFO. Really good history, and thanks for that rundown, Svein. Not too many people have so much that they write themselves, but thank you for that. Like I said, I didn't even have to go to Wikipedia for anything, so I appreciate that, man. Yeah, really excellent band. Musicianship is solid and on point, and you know, you always ask yourself the question, with a band this damn good, how is it that you haven't heard of them? Or how is it that you're not familiar with their material? And can it be just as surface level and simple as to say, well, it's because they really haven't had a very powerful, strong signature hit. They haven't had a Hotel California or a Stairway to Heaven or I Can't Get No Satisfaction. Is it that? You know, let me know what you think. Why is UFO not as big and notable as the big notables out there? Do you think it's because they are missing a big signature hit like Tom Sawyer, something like that? Let me know what you think and why you think, okay? With that said, Svein, thank you very much. I appreciate this. Great recommendation, man. UFO, definitely I'd like to check them out some more. I love these long kind of winding ballad-like songs that they've got. And then their guitar playing, bringing it in. That sweet sounding guitar solo is everything, you know what I'm saying? So that's my favorite sound where it comes to all music, and especially where it comes to rock and roll. Remember, let me know what yours is and why. Yeah, I would say overall, Love to Love definitely is probably the best of the bunch here, for whatever reasons. But that guitar solo at the end of Profession of Violence got me. So, but they're all good, man. All the songs are excellent for different reasons. Anyways, you guys have yourselves a good one. Take care. Next time you see me, I believe it's Pete that's up next. And then I know that there's some Zeppelin stuff I've got going on. I believe it might either be a documentary, not a documentary, more like interviews and stuff like that. And I believe I have a documentary too coming up. Is it Finesse? Anyway. Within the next couple of days, you're going to see all that. I know that it's all like within a couple of days. So until then, have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.